Unfortunately, I know something about this particular subject. Most people have a rough upbringing, or I don't want to say most people. I don't know what the hell most people got. Most of the stories that I hear is about people with rough upbringings. And mine is weird because I didn't realize it, but my dad was wealthy. He was an officer in the Air Force. But with the way that he treated us, the way that he treated me, I'd much rather been broke. May had a parent who gave a damn. We're better off when he wasn't around. And I know that doesn't mean shit to the people who grew up without a father in the house at all, so I get it. And it's one of those things that seems hypocritical and selfish to say, I had a terrible time because I had a father in the house, but I guarantee you, if you had my father, you'd have rather been without one growing up. If he wasn't putting hands on me, if he wasn't beating me, then he was verbally abusing me, reminding me how stupid I was and how much I would never measure up and how I was worthless and I wasn't shit. Even though I had an extremely high IQ, I was a straight A student. I played every sport. I had a lot of natural talent when it came to acting, playing instruments, just creative outlets. I could draw. As far as he's concerned, I wasn't shit. Now that I'm grown, I understand that goes back to his own lineage and his time with his parents and the abuse that he says that he suffered at their hands. Okay. As a man deeply in need of therapy, and instead of therapy, he went and found himself a war in the military, and if there was any good that was in him, I for damn sure never saw it. Still to this day, I have no idea how he ended up with my mama. It makes zero sense to me. But you know, sometimes we can't live up to expectations. Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, new from the Ville, and I'm here to talk to you about Invincible, Season 3, Episode 4. You Were My Hero. This is a crazy episode. Now, if you've been with me before, you've seen any of my other media therapy deep dives, you know that I'm not about to do a long recap. This is going to be short and sweet, and we're going to get on to the point. If you're interested in the actual reaction and the discussion that Centel and I had, go into the description and look for where it says episode this analysis is based on. Check that out. So 2 things of note happened in this episode. Dropkick and Fightmaster came back. We saw them in the first episode when Mark beat the hell out of 100 multi-pauls. They got away with the Declaration of Independence. They come back to take Mark with them into the future because they need him. There's a problem and he has to come. He's the only person that can fix their problem. For whatever reason, he decides to go so he can get the Declaration of Independence back. And the other thing of note is that One of the Viltrumites actually is talking to Nolan, and that's actually where the title comes from. He actually says to him, "Man, you were my hero. Now look at you, traitor." Going back to Mark, again, we see sort of the same thing. Not necessarily that Mark's hero was the villain in this future, the dropkick and fight master have taken him to, but the emperor of this future is the immortal. He's lived several thousand years. He's tired. He just wants to die. And in order to get Mark's attention, he started just going off the rails, killing people to bring Mark back to do what must be done. So Mark's going to pick up another body, huh? You know, sometimes they say you shouldn't meet your idols. This show was proof of that. You know that I love my quotes, and I have two today. First one is a quote from one of my favorite people ever, and that is Bruce Lee. And he says, "I am not in this world to live up to your expectations, and you're not in this world to live up to mine." Second quote, I don't know who this one came from. "Do not live for the expectations of people around you. Live for yourself, for your dreams, for your happiness." Funny thing about expectations is there's two forms. The expectations that other people put on you and the expectations you put on yourself. Sometimes those things can coincide, but a lot of times they do not. And more often than not, most of us are caught in the vice of trying to live up to other people's expectations. And this could be your spouse, you know, your loved one, your boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be a family member, your parents, grandparents, uncles, siblings, someone who has a lot of expectation of you. Even coaches, teachers, other people that mean something to you. You could live your life trying to worry about their expectations of you in your life. When you don't live up to expectations, it usually means that you're falling short of what others think that you should be or should do. Now, it can be frustrating, but it's important to remember that you're your own person. It's even harder when you don't live up to your own expectations of yourself. Now, why does this happen? Maybe the expectations were unrealistic. I've seen many a sports parent see their kid out on the field or out on the basketball court. They see them put in the first three-pointer, run the first touchdown, and they immediately think that their kid's going pro. It's unrealistic. It's a thought. You don't want to crush anyone's dreams, but it's unrealistic. Could be conflicting ambitions that your goals conflict with the actual reality of the situation. Sometimes your situation does not lend to you living out the goals that you set for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with having lofty goals, but they also have to be realistic. They also have to be attainable. You want to have goals that are something for you to strive for, but they shouldn't be unrealistic and more impossible than improbable. The last thing is, you don't want to try to please others. Whatever you do, it should be for you. It's your life. And you're the only one that has to live it. And yes, you might have people that have supported you, that have been in your corner, that have pushed you, that have aided you, supported you with money and opportunities that you couldn't have gotten on your own. It still doesn't mean that you owe them. It doesn't mean that you have to give your life to them and what they want. And one thing you don't want to be is ungrateful, but that doesn't mean that you're beholden to them. There's a couple ways to deal with unrealistic expectations, whether they're someone else's or your own. And first is to take a step back and try to assess the situation. Try to figure out what's happening, why it happened, and how you can make sense of it and go to where you need to get to. The next one is to focus on yourself. Focus on your goals and what makes you happy. Can you achieve that? Next one is to reframe your expectations. The next one is to reframe your relationship with the expectations. Expectations are just beliefs. They're not always reality. You can do more than you think. But that doesn't mean that you can do everything that you think. Reframe your relationship with the expectations you have or that other people have for you. Be honest with yourself. That's probably one of the most important ones. Be honest with yourself. Worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. It's bad to lie to other people. It's even worse to lie to yourself. You know good and damn well whether you're getting up every morning and putting in the work. And whatever dream that you're trying to achieve, it's going to take work. You need to set some boundaries. And there might be some toxic people you have to get out of your orbit. Get them away from you. Because you think, and they'll be quick to tell you that they are helping you achieve your goals. And you'll find out that they are anchor and they are dragging you down. And you're not obligated to live up to anyone's expectations. So the last thing that you can do is let go of others' expectations. Let go of them. You can try to live up to your own expectations all you want. But what other people have for you, let go of that. What is important is what means the most to you, because it is about you. My father's unrelenting barrage of me could have done one of two things. It could have driven me into a hole, and I buried my head in the sand and just took it and just became a victim all my life. Or what actually happened, I said enough is enough. You can say whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to do. You want to beat me? Do it. It is what it is. I'm going to do what I need to do for me. You don't like it? Cool. I'm the one who has to live this life. Comparison is the thief of joy. And you will not steal my joy. You will not take my peace. It's taken a long time to get here. And several other red flags and other individuals that I didn't realize were anchors when I thought that they were balloons. But now I'm on a rocket ship all by myself with my kids in tow. That's how you live up to your expectations. This is Rakai Steed, new from the Ville. Make sure that you like, comment, leave me some thoughts about your expectations, how you lived up to them, or ones that other people try to place on you. I would love to hear about it. Share this video as much as possible. And if by all means, if you have not subscribed yet, hit the button and subscribe. Remember, whatever you do, it's got to be about this, but even more importantly, it's got to be about this.